Monday,
We're live.
April 10th, 2023. You are here live with the Carbonite crew for our very first live
I'm number
episode.
one.
Number one.
I'm number one.
We're super excited. Thanks everyone who's already hopped into the chat and is joining us. We're super excited to be doing this. Once I finally actually moved back here, one of the very first things I wanted to do was set up a live show for us. So I'm pretty pumped. Hopefully everyone can hear us.
Camera's over there, by the way.
I know. Well, I'm looking at you.
No, you were looking down there. I don't.
Oh, I got.
We've jerry-rigged this whole thing in the last 25 minutes, and it's awesome. I love it.
We're making it up. If you guys can't hear us, make sure you let us know in the chat.
Let us know.
That would be plenty awkward, but we hopefully tested this well enough to know what we're doing. So,
and if not, well, we're gonna learn.
It'd be just about fitting for how we tend to do things.
Oh gosh, without a doubt. I'm gonna
look at you over here.
I'm trying
to produce this thing. All right. Well, I'll keep us rolling as you float around, produce this thing.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome in, everyone. We are here because there has been a ton happening over the last week. A
ton.
Star Wars Celebration took place in, where was this one at?
London.
London in
the
I almost
UK.
said Japan, but that's 2 years.
That's
from
2
now.
years. Wow, way to ruin the announcement for everybody since they're coming to us to find out.
I'm hoping.
Not really.
I'm hoping we're gonna be there. Star Wars Celebration happened in London over the weekend.
Be there.
And they dropped a lot of news on us, Tyler.
Dude, they dropped so much news on us. And it was funny. I totally was unaware of the time difference. I know there's a time difference, but I guess I didn't realize they were 5, I think it was, hours ahead of us.
Yep.
So I wake up for work on Friday morning and get up. It's 7:30 a.m. Boom, boom, boom. All the stuff is dropping because it's noon there. Uh-huh. So that's when all the major news is dropping, and Friday's typically in celebration fashion is the big news day.
Yep.
And it was all about the Lucasfilm panel, but more so Ahsoka. Ahsoka's, we have so much, we have it all. We have a trailer, we have a villain, we have casting, we have Chopper. That's really all that matters. Chopper. Oh, I absolutely love that droid. I adore that droid. He's the best.
Oh, but man.
We've got it all. There is a reaction video I posted. You can go watch it, to me watching the trailer for the first time and almost tearing up, breaking down. I got goosebumps.
He says almost like the man wasn't crying.
Hey, I will say anyone that went to Celebration last year in Anaheim, which was a very awesome celebration, they showed a really quick sneak peek of Ahsoka, and had only been filming for 3 weeks at the time. And that, without a doubt, I teared up. I called you right afterwards, and I was like, I'm not crying. This isn't fine. And for anyone out there that doesn't know or is unaware, we love Rebels. We are in love with the series. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but there's just something so special about that show and Ezra Bridger and just the characters and the dynamics and all of it. And it's so cool that it's finally, in a way, getting its flowers, even though it still doesn't seem like it's this huge respected project in Star Wars. It's getting its flowers and its due, and it's ending.
Yeah.
Or at least we hope. I guess at least we hope it's getting its ending.
I assume you're right. We're going to get some tie-ins and kind of wrap-ups of all the storylines and things we've seen. But I think you made a good point where it's okay, it's starting to get its flowers. And I hadn't thought about it like this until you just said that. But Lucasfilm, Star Wars, whatever you want to call it, they realized they had a problem with the sequel trilogy. Promise we won't go into that today. We've done
that's another live stream
plenty of times. But they had this problem where it's okay, our story kind of fell flat in the sequel trilogy. We need to do some work to kind of pull it back together and make it work. And so what did they choose to do that with? Well, they did it with Mando, and now they're taking Rebels, and they're going to say, okay, well, what if we take all these Rebel characters that we technically don't know what happened to them, we don't know where they're at, let's use them to kind of get us into where the sequel trilogy is at. And I think that was an interesting choice, and I'm excited about it because on one hand, I'm kind of a little grumpy, well, you could have just not made bad movies and we wouldn't have about
Very
this.
True.
But I get Ezra Bridger.
We get Ezra Bridger.
So
so it's okay.
I think I'll take
it.
And
it makes sense too, because you let Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau helm these new live action
Mhm.
series and shows, and even in the new animated ones.
Yeah.
So it's only appropriate that if they're going into this saying, "Hey, let's not retcon, but let's try to add on to the story. Let's try to do stuff to make it better." Hey, Dave, what are you comfortable with?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and use that.
Yep.
If you know the characters, you use that to build around it. And I don't know, Rebels, like I said, it's just so special because it got its ending. It did.
Mhm.
Like, it was very open ended, but it was still conclusive.
Yeah.
Obviously, too few people were missing, which was a big mystery.
Yep.
But it's a galaxy. It's
Yeah.
gonna happen, I guess,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But now we get to find out. Like
It
you
was
said.
it was enough. It was wrapped up enough that like it would have been okay if they didn't go back to it and kind of give us the
I
answers.
never sat there and said, "Give me." I mean, I wanted more, but I was never
Exactly.
mad that I wasn't getting.
You wanted more, but you didn't need more. Like if that was how they felt like the story needed to end, fine.
I respect
But
it.
I'm pretty happy we're getting more.
I'm just-
Ezra is one of my all-time favorite characters, up there with the likes of Mr. Vader himself and of course Mr. Onaka
Mr. Onaka.
himself as well.
Oh, Mr.
Love me some
Hondo.
Hondo. If we don't get live action Hondo,
It's got to happen,
it
dude.
has to happen.
I've got to. Those are all
We
amazing
deserve
characters.
it. We deserve it.
We
as fans.
deserve it. We as fans deserve it. We deserve everything as Star Wars fans.
Let's text Dave and let him
Yeah,
know.
I mean, you've got his number, right?
Yeah.
I can find a Dave Filoni's number.
I tell you what,
I don't know if it's him.
I'll be okay if Hondo doesn't show up in the Ahsoka show, as long as he shows up in a certain movie that Dave Filoni is going to be sitting in the captain chair for.
Okay, so the 3 new movies were announced.
That was a beautiful segue. You can't just take that from me.
It was a beautiful. I had so many things I wanted to say. So 3 new movies were announced.
They were.
I don't know what order they're being released in. I assume Dave Filoni's is still a few years away because we have a lot to build towards.
Oh yeah,
I assume there's going to be at least one more season of Mando.
At least like 5 years.
We're getting a Dave Filoni directed movie. He's getting his due, or he's getting his chance, and he's going to direct a live action film. It's going to be this culmination kind of event of everything we've been getting. Book of Boba Fett.
I saw somebody refer to it as the Mandoverse.
I believe that.
I think it makes sense.
When you say Mandoverse, do you think of just Din Djarin, or is it just Mandalorians at this point?
Yes.
We're in the Mandalorian era.
Yeah.
It's
kind of cool.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like they rose to this heightened power.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
But we're getting it now.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing this rebuild, and I love it. But it's like an Avengers type, right?
I think so.
It's going to be.
That's the vibe.
Which is going to be so weird. We've been talking about this for years now, Star Wars fans. Like, when are we going to get like an Avengers type, a Marvel type, like build up? Very little post-credit scenes, I feel like, which is I'm thankful for. I want Marvel to be Marvel.
Yep.
I want Star Wars to be Star Wars. So I'm a little nervous for this movie. I will not lie. I would hate for that to be the first time Hondo shows up, though, in live action.
What if he was the main character, though? Like, who else? Like,
what?
Okay, here's the thing. We don't know, like, would Mando be the main character? Would Ahsoka be the main character? Would Ezra be the main character?
It's just
Why
Hondo?
not just go with Hondo? He knows them all. Well, we don't know if he knows Mando yet, but probably.
I'm envisioning Hondo like Deadpool. He just breaks that fourth wall. Like he knows we're watching this way in the future.
Yep. I think
In
that's
another
a great comparison.
That'd be a great show.
It really
We
would
deserve
be.
a Hondo show, not a Hondo movie.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
I like it.
Thank you to all 3 people watching, by the way.
All 3?
All 3 got 3 in here. Shout out to
Are
you
we
guys.
one of them?
Oh, I guess we might be. I got our thing up so I can watch our chat.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out to the other 2 people that are watching.
Hey,
You don't got to
that's
call
all
us out like that.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Come on. Yeah, feel free to interact here, guys.
Yep.
We're here to, I'm learning how all this works right now. So we've got our computer jerry-rigged. We've got an iPad up so I can see everything because I'm blind as a bat.
I did get a confirmation that they can hear us.
From who? You got a confirmation?
From my wife.
Oh, shout out to Steven's wife. Or are you sure she can't just hear us from the other room?
Well, I made sure to clarify that I meant on the internet. But
no, I'm excited for Dave's movie, though. And I don't know anything about it. I mean, other than what we described. It's a culmination event of everything we're getting in this Mandoverse.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that's the end, right?
I would think so.
So no I'll be curious how they do it.
I really will be too.
Because I felt like
and
they
it
try to do this with like the Daredevil universe, sort of, even
mhm.
and maybe even like the Flash
Yeah,
universe. The DC on TV, and I
yeah,
just feel like there's never been a conclusive ending to any
mm,
of those, so I don't
yeah.
I don't know what to expect.
I don't know either. I assume it's going to be my based on what they've said. They said this movie is going to kind of set up episode 7, The Force Awakens, right? So it's going to kind of like
Mhm.
lead us into that. My guess is it's going to be a wrap up of all of these different shows, all of these character arcs that we have going on. And it's going to be like, here's how Kylo happened. Here's how Snoke happened. Here's some hints at Palpatine returning somehow.
Somehow,
Somehow.
great
Uh,
line.
I, I assume they're going to come in, they're going to do all of those things, and they're drop all of these little hints. And it's like, okay, this storyline that was bad in the movies, let's try to like throw some sugar on that, and then on this thing, and then on this thing, and then on this thing. I think that's what
Yeah.
the movie's going to be. Um, Question based on, well, we haven't. Let's stay on this movie for a little bit. But
Okay.
so Bad Batch. I know we
Yes,
are
Bad Batch.
not fully caught up yet necessarily. Um,
No.
do we think that these clones are going to be in that movie?
So we got
It's a long time.
no, I don't think so. Like we know Rex is alive.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. He was at the Battle of Endor, right?
Yep.
So he was on the ground. He's alive. I just maybe.
It's just and the only reason I think this is because of how much of the Bad Batch story is about the cloning,
Mhm.
which we have seen from Mando from the episode with the cloner the other day, a couple weeks ago. Like that is kind of one of the overarching storylines that's happening
Right.
across all of these different shows and things that are happening. So I just wonder if, and maybe it's not all of them, maybe it's Omega.
I see Omega over all of them.
Yeah.
She feels very important.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what her story arc really
Yep.
led in the second season. We've not finished that, unfortunately. But she said she seemed too important from the get
Yeah.
of season 1 of the Bad
Mhm.
Batch.
Yep.
So I do think there's theories out there. I don't subscribe to them personally as of right now, as of April 10th, 2023. But like there's a lot of people that think Elijah Kane is Omega
Interesting.
in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Which okay, I can kind of see the look a
Huh.
little bit. But there's all this double agent play. Who is she really? She's trying to do this so she can stop the cloning.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
right.
and maybe that's why she tries to stop Dr.
Huh.
Pershing a few episodes ago
Oh,
because she
what?
knows the dangers.
That's quite the
I mean,
theory.
yeah, there's definitely some.
Did some work on that accent if it's the case.
That is true. I could see it happening. You never notice. Star Wars never say never.
Mm-hmm.
But the other, let's talk about the other 2 films.
Yep.
So
Let's do it.
one is escaping my mind.
One is the Old Republic stuff, right?
Okay, one's the James Mangold. I think he's directing it. He's at least helming it of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be during. I had it written down. It's gonna be during the times of Dawn of the Jedi. Dawn of the Jedi is the era that we're gonna be in, which is this is like the earliest timeline thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is it.
It's one of the more exciting things I've heard.
Because this is a new era, I think, just completely, as far as I
Yeah.
know.
It seems like it's the. I don't know how long before, like the High Republic stuff, we are at this point. But I'm really excited about it. I'm very excited. Dawn of the Jedi. That's
Dawn
also
of the
just, like,
Jedi.
a cool name.
It'll be cool. I don't know what we're getting in that. Let's talk about the eras for a second. Let's just talk about the eras. And if you guys have anything you want to throw in there, I think we have a comment. Couldn't agree more, Grant. Couldn't agree more. Thank you.
Thanks, Grant.
Please, everyone out there, if you're watching now, if you're watching in the future, I just need you to look at me for a second. Just agree. Always agree. I'm just kidding.
With me though, because Tyler's usually pretty whack.
We agree on a lot of things though, so I'll take the wins. That's like 80%. I'll take the 80%.
Maybe.
It's better than 0. Last time I checked. But these new eras that we got this timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna go through them a little bit. But we've got Dawn of the Jedi.
Pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. Someone's born and they're a Jedi. That's just how it goes. I don't know. I know a few of them. Dawn, if you're out there, this is our dumb jokes. And
welcome to the Carbonite.
Welcome to the Carbonite crew. We have Dawn of the Jedi. Then we have the Old Republic. So the Old Republic.
This is pre-Old Republic.
This is Dawn of the Jedi is pre-Old Republic.
I didn't realize that. That's nuts.
And it's awesome because we're getting the Old Republic now.
Uh-huh.
Like it's being
because we haven't had anything
acknowledged
canon
Disney
canon in the Old Republic. The Old Republic games were all pre-Disney, right? Okay.
Yes, I think
that's exciting.
Yeah, we've got some Darth Bane references in the Clone Wars, very briefly.
Yeah.
So I assume like this is the time, Revan.
Yeah.
Bane. Like this is it. Like we've
talked about it. If Star Wars wants to do a Game of Thrones style show, that's where to do it. What if that's what
you realize Lucasfilm, we are available. We are available and we are cheap.
In all reality, yes, we are.
Your version of cheap. We are that. I'm currently looking for a house, so anything will help.
I'm not that cheap.
I'm Disney cheap.
There you go.
I'll sign any NDA you want all day. But in the Old Republic, it's getting. I'm not as familiar with it. I know you read a lot of this stuff. Jonathan, one of our friends here at the Carbonite crew, he's huge into it.
Yeah.
If you're listening for a long time, you know his rants and his explanations for everything are classic.
Yeah.
Carbonite crew material. But the Old Republic, then we have the High Republic, which we're getting tons of material on right now.
Yep.
There's like parts in the High Republic, even like different sections.
Yep.
So I'm not caught up on all that.
I've read a few of the books now.
There was a bunch announced this weekend
to the few of the books, and I'm behind, but I like the storylines and I like the overarching what's happening. It's interesting stuff.
Okay.
I've not been a huge fan of like every individual book, but
as a whole,
I am a bit of a book snob. So
that's true.
We'll lay that out there. So,
so we have Dawn of the Jedi, the Old Republic, the High Republic, and then we have the Fall of the Jedi, which we are very familiar with.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It includes our favorite characters, Jar Jar, young Greedo.
I love
Pod Racers.
I love how it comes back to Jar Jar.
It always comes back to Jar Jar.
Maybe,
did you dislike Jar Jar?
Anakin.
Oh yeah, he's in there too.
He's kind of important.
He
only does the falling.
He's only the one that pushes them over to make them fall. We have the Fall of the Jedi, Reign of the Empire.
Pretty cool.
Which it sounds cool, but it's only like 20 years, and it's a
lot happens with
a lot does happen.
A lot of our content is in there.
I will say a side note. I bought Battlefront 2 for my PlayStation a few weeks ago because it was on sale for like $5.99.
Yep.
I'm like, cool, I'll buy it. Never really played through the game. So I was like, I'll turn it on. This is last night. I'll turn it on. I'll play a campaign or two. 2.5 hours went by. And it was so interesting because it's the night the Battle of Endor and when the Death Star blows up, and it's about you follow Empire characters, and it's really, really cool, really captivating because you see people starting to turn on the Empire that were part of the Empire and loyal to the Empire. And they're like, and all that stuff's important to like the stuff we're getting now.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of those references brought up, like Operation Cinder, and we're going to start getting characters, I think, referenced.
Yeah.
And new material coming up.
One of the best Star Wars games ever.
Battlefront 2?
Yeah. If not the best.
You talking about the first one though, or the second? You're talking about
second one.
But the second one.
The second one. Yep. Are you talking about the second one?
I'm talking about the second one.
Oh,
because
there we
go.
Go. I forgot they did that thing.
Battlefront 2 from like 06, I don't know, whatever year that was. That really was.
That game was phenomenal.
Dude, those classic the pod racing games. There's a good Empire one on the N64.
The Old Republic games are really good.
I need to play those.
You do. The stories are just so good.
I need to play like Force Unleashed, all that.
Yeah,
I think that would be really
stuff.
cool. Maybe we're gonna get Star Killer at some point.
I'm sure.
Maybe now.
It's possible.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
So we have Reign of the Empire. Then we have Age of Rebellion.
Yep.
All about
Makes
hope.
sense.
We know all about that. And then we have the New Republic, which is what we're doing now.
Yep.
I feel like that name's gonna be, which we were supposed to get a movie of that title of some sort from Patty Jenkins. I believe.
That's right.
So that never happened. Or it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Makes you wonder how much of the stuff they just announced this weekend ends up flopping and not happening as well.
Yeah, I think we need to go into these like announcements, just assuming that none of it's actually going to happen. Then we'll be happy.
Yeah, if we just start really pessimistic, then we can't be disappointed.
Which we're Star Wars fans, so
we're used to it.
We're good. We have so we have that. There's a lot of eras.
Yeah.
T Swift's on her Eras tour. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my goodness.
All goes back to Taylor Swift.
Here we go. Back to this again.
You guys have a lot to learn about me.
Oh my god!
I assume she watches. I assume we have Age of the Rebellion, The New Republic, and then Rise of the First Order,
which is like a 10-minute era.
It's 3 movies, but they're all different versions of the Rise of the First Order. Okay, actually, I did literally nothing with my day yesterday. I feel like in the grand, I slept, I ate, I played a game, and then at the end of the day, I was winding down, and Rise of Skywalker was on. I was like, cool, let me throw this on in the background.
Sure.
I lasted a good 15 minutes, and I thought, what am I watching? I want to love this movie so bad. Question.
There are little moments in there that I was like, oh yeah, that was fun.
Ben Solo. That's about it.
Yeah. But for the most part, I have not watched that in so long.
I don't think I've actually watched it front to back since the night it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the scene I watched last night. They were under the tunnel.
Yep.
They found the serpent or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But there's that scene where Rey, it's dark, and Rey ignites her lightsaber, and the light glows.
Mm-hmm.
And then Finn or Poe has his flashlight, and he goes, "It's just a beam of light." And I'm like, I didn't realize, because you're excited the first time you watch it, right?
Yeah,
you're excited. I didn't realize how much it actually takes me out of the movie because it's too real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Okay.
It took me out really quickly, last night when I watched it. I was like, oh, and I had only had it on for 3 minutes, if that. And I'm like, wow, don't like that.
Maybe that's a good thing that it took you out though, because it's not a movie you want to be in.
That's true. Well, and then she heals the serpent, and he just before the serpent comes, they're like, how did he get out? And they're like, he didn't. They find his bones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Serpent comes. Clearly, the serpent ain't this guy or whatever.
Yep.
She heals a serpent, and then the scene cuts to the Knights of Ren. The really cool cinematic shot, which was unnecessary, really.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then it goes back to them, and they're climbing up out of on this hill, out. And I'm like, but wait, how did they get out? I assume the serpent was just in the way of the door.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah.
But you never actually told me. You just showed me heal the serpent, and he slithered away, and then they're outside.
Oh my god.
So and this, mind you, all within 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. Just happened to turn it on, and you're like, oh right, this movie.
And then you get the moment where Finn's like, Chewie, go tell her she needs to come back. That's unnecessary. I could have wrote the movie better. And that's something that I'm not saying I'm good a writer, and I'm not saying J.J. Abrams is a bad writer. I'm saying I could have made that movie better.
Yeah, we need to
rewrite the movies.
Yeah, we do. We've talked about it. I have good ideas.
We need to do this
someday.
We need to do this.
All right, so back to our regularly scheduled program. Now it's regular.
Is it regular now? Doesn't like my face.
As of this week.
Okay. Rise of the First Order is happening.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We're still in these eras. We're still in our eras.
Just keep going.
And then we have the New Jedi Order, which leads us to our third movie.
Mm-hmm. Third movie.
That's a segue.
Yeah, it was good, but so was the other one. That
the other one was fantastic.
You
just caught me off guard.
You just ran over it.
Okay, trust me. If you rolled up in a truck and just had a chocolate fountain, I'm gonna be speechless. It's good, right? Your transition was so good, I didn't know what to say, so I probably ruined it. Are you tracking this?
There's another movie we heard at Star Wars Celebration. Daisy Ridley will be returning to the Star Wars universe as Rey, obviously. We're getting another movie set. Was it 15 years? Am I making that number up?
15 years.
Okay. 15 years after Rise of Skywalker, that movie. And Rey, which this could be good.
I think it could be very good.
Let's forget everything that we've already seen. if we just bring Ray, if we're just pulling the characters, like the characters were good.
Characters,
I like
most
the
of the characters were
So
good.
like if Poe and Finn and I don't remember who all ended up dying and not, but
They died.
I don't think so.
They didn't die.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I've only seen it once all the way through.
Exactly.
I guess
It's
I
been
wouldn't
a
remember.
really long time, and so I can't remember if they are
I don't think anyone
dead or
died.
not. Kylo.
Stop.
Well, he did.
That we
Anyway.
know of. Do we see him die on screen?
Anyway. So the characters were good. So if we pull these characters into another movie, I'm totally okay with that because I think it can actually be interesting and even set up. Like if they want to start a trilogy here, fine. Because you know what? We know nothing about this yet. We don't know what happens next because it's all new, and I'm totally fine.
You know what I would love?
And I'm ready to get into some new territory.
George Lucas wrote the first Star Wars with no sequel in mind.
Yep.
But it led so well into a sequel.
Yeah.
Do that again.
I think that
do that again.
It's probably their plan.
Give me a standalone.
Yeah.
But don't leave it so open though, because like think about A New Hope. They blow up the Death Star. Darth Vader goes flying into space.
Yep.
They get their medal. Hurrah! That's a movie. I mean, that's a movie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool. Give me that. Don't leave me with it. Don't leave me with anything.
Yeah.
Don't even leave. Don't give me a cliffhanger. Don't show me Doctor Doom coming back at the end with a really ugly mask. Like, don't give me anything.
Yeah. I like that. I like that plan because then we're left and we can say, as long as they make a good movie, we can say that was a good movie. If they want to give us more, great. If not, understand totally.
And if they don't make a good movie,
just one.
You got one bad movie. Whatever.
I bet that's their exact thought.
I hope so.
So here's what I want them to do is to make this movie. And if they want to keep making movies after this in this timeline, great. I think it'll be a really good and interesting point in our world to pick up on. I really want them to do shows and stuff like that in this Old Republic era that we're kind of leading.
I think we are kind of moving towards.
It feels like that's what we're doing
in a good way.
My guess is we're going to get this Dawn of the Jedi stuff, whether that's this one movie or a couple movies or a movie and a show, and it's going to lead us into the Old Republic. All those characters that we know, Malik, Bane. I bet we get all of these guys.
Well, think about it. I mean, you have...
Because you said it's Dawn and then Old Republic, right?
Yes.
I guarantee that's
you could do so much off of each of these eras.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you do 3 movies, let's just say you do 2 TV shows and 3 movies for each era.
Yep.
You just set yourself up for the next 50 years.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's brilliant.
It is.
I don't know whose idea it was, but someone knows what they're
I'm pretty
doing.
sure it was ours.
Actually, that would make sense. We did create the MCU.
You can send the check to...
We did create the MCU.
Yep.
If you never believed your house
message
was
us on
bugged,
Instagram and get us. We have that, right?
Message us at what?
We have Instagram, right?
We
do. Yeah, I was on it today. You can send us
Instagram,
a message there.
Twitter, Facebook, email. You can email us. We're at gmail.com.
There you go.
Our email is open.
Now everybody can email us, though.
Everybody can email us. I think our email is on the YouTube page to begin with.
Perfect.
To begin with, does anyone have like any thoughts or anything? We'd love to hear from you on the chat down here. I'd love to
answer questions.
Anything? I know. I think I did get a personal one here. This is from Christopher, my man. He's watching. Shout out to you. He asked if we're getting some space whales. Hell yeah, we're getting some space whales.
We are so absolutely getting space whales. First of all, we already did.
I spent like 2 hours making a TikTok about it. Yeah, we're gonna make some space whales.
And it's gonna be awesome.
Oh,
I hope Ezra rides in on a space whale.
Stop it.
Like, what if that's the scene? And it's like,
no, dude.
He rides in on a space whale and then like hops off and he's like, hey.
You know what? I've never been a fan of like shot for shot things. It's cheap.
Uh-huh.
But if I don't get a shot of Thrawn standing there, just ready to pounce on all of these like heroes, and Ezra's just there, and he just throws his lightsaber down. He says, I can do this all day. And then you hear Hondo. He's like, on your left. And then all the space whales come in.
The Marvel tie. I like it. I think it's a good plan.
If you own the IPs, you might as well use them. You got a house, use all the rooms.
I like it. That's smart. That's good. Oh man. I hope we get, speaking of space whales, we might have mentioned this before. But I hope they do the last scene of Rebels. Well, not the very last, but if they want to do the very last too, but the ending scene where Ezra and Thrawn actually end up
like
getting
go.
taken by the
It makes
Purgils.
sense that they just introduced Purgils in that scene, right? So you're introducing ideas.
It'd be a cool flashback scene to give us, I think, as to like, hey, here's these two characters. Here's what happened to them. Here's why we're all of a sudden bringing them into this, all these shows. That'd be pretty cool.
Do you think? I think this is just letting us talk about Ahsoka again.
Mhm.
But like, what leads them to find Ezra again? Like, have they been looking the whole time? They haven't, because they clearly have been apart.
Right. I have so many questions.
Yeah,
which I get. That is a long time to be looking for him.
you stop at some point,
Mhm.
right? So
Because like, where else?
but why
else
do you start again?
look?
Because of Thrawn? Because you hear Thrawn's in power, so you're like,
I
if
think so.
Thrawn's alive,
I
Ezra's
think so.
alive.
I got the vibe that Ahsoka had heard his name and heard some like rumblings that he was around doing stuff. Because from that scene in Mando where she asks, I can't remember that lady's name. It's been a little bit, but where she asks her, she's like, "Where's your boss? Where's Thrawn?" I think.
Oh, what a name drop in that moment.
We
Talk about not seeing it coming.
Everybody was just like, "Oh, here we go."
You got the dark saber in the first season, and then you get.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. So I think from there they hear about Thrawn, and then they're like, "Wait, if he's still around, then like, there's no reason Ezra can't be, right?" I think that's what happens. So all that to say, I think that's how they end up finding Ezra, or like thinking to find him. I wonder if he's captured.
Ezra?
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense.
Yeah. Which is cool, because at the end of Rebels, we were led to believe he kind of got the upper hand on Thrawn, threw him off, didn't get, caught him off guard, and like, oh, whatever. But who knows what?
But if Thrawn is now just like out and about doing his thing, that makes me think Ezra is somewhere. Maybe
it's like
on Exegol.
Exegol. Get in, loser. We're going to Exegol. One of my favorite memes of all time. That's just one of. I love Adam Driver, but yeah, he was done dirty, man. He's done dirty, but that's not what we're here for today.
Not today, at least.
It'll come.
Most
time
days.
Will come.
Most days we're here.
Most days we're
for
here
Tyler to talk about.
Oh, those movies are so good. Like, there's not been a bad one.
Well, I can think of 3.
No, it doesn't count.
Okay.
It doesn't count. But that wasn't his fault. What were we talking about?
Whales.
Ahsoka.
We started talking
Space
about space
whales.
whales. But before that, we were kind of wrapping up our thoughts, I think, on those 3 movie announcements.
Once we hit space whales,
is there one you're more excited about than the other 3?
Honestly, because of the unknown, I'm really excited about the Daisy Ridley one.
Okay.
Just no one saw it coming.
Yeah, I didn't. I really didn't. I didn't think they would be brave enough.
And what I'm about to say, I mean this in a very positive way.
Okay.
He goes, here it comes. He's like, I am not responsible for this.
We're about to be canceled on week 1. All right, let's hit me with
so
it.
what I think, I think it's really funny that you have a lot of fans that don't like the sequel trilogy. We're in this. We're not a fan of the sequel trilogy as a whole.
Yep.
There's individual parts that are really good, but as a whole, we get. But all these people that are saying you need to retcon it, you need to pretend they don't exist, they don't count, they should just fire everybody involved. That same company was like, we're bringing her back. More movies. And I was like, yes. Like,
yep.
I love fans running things to a certain extent. The fan casting.
Exactly. But here's the thing though. It's like when a GM in football like doubles down on a bad decision and then they sink a franchise.
Ryan Pace.
Ding, ding, ding. But sometimes it works out because like they get paid a lot of money to do their job. They know what's going to work, what's good, what's best. Sometimes they're wrong. So hopefully, yes. But all that to say, I do think they can do really well with this movie. I am excited.
I'm excited.
I think I'm
clean slate. It's a clean slate.
Yeah, exactly.
It's clean slate. And
it wasn't when they made a movie. It wasn't like the timeline. It wasn't the characters. It was just the writing, and the story, and the planning.
And we're gonna get Grogu. He might be a master because
That's super interesting. Yeah.
Timeline wise, he would be around 90 something. And I
Okay.
think Yoda was like 100 when he became a or like a master.
It's interesting how like disproportionate that aging feels, but that's maybe another conversation. But maybe this species is like a baby for a really long time and then just kind of like boom,
Boom,
is
adolescent.
old. Yeah.
So maybe this means nothing, but when it comes to Disney and it comes to Star Wars, something means something. Nothing means nothing.
Yoda is like 900.
900 something, right?
Yeah.
So he'll probably be in this Old Republic stuff or some of it.
He's in the High Republic stuff.
Okay.
Because that's like 400 to 500 years before, I think.
Okay.
And so it just depends how much further back. This Dawn of Jedi stuff might be like 2,000 years beforehand.
But what I'm thinking is
Or
there
more.
was a moment in it was a Disney Parks kind of panel they had at the celebration of this past weekend, and they were announcing like, oh, Mando and Grogu are going to be, there. So they brought out the Mandalorian like actor, character in his suit, and he was like, "Say goodbye, Grogu," because he had a little Grogu in his backpack, and it like made a very like intentional like sound, like Grogu, like. I'm like, that's more than we've ever heard on like the show. Like we've heard little things on the show, but like that was very like continuous. Like there was something being said there, right? Even we kind of saw it with that scene in like episode 2 or something where they're like, "This is the way. This is the way." And kind of hear Grogu like, right?
Okay.
I think we are building towards that.
I think so too.
Slowly, which is kind of scary because once he talks, like that's it. He's not a little infant baby that's adorable anymore. Like he's hoping to still be cute. But it's not the same.
Oh, he's gonna start giving lip and attitude.
Oh, no.
I hope he's a toddler, man.
Him and Chopper. Him and Chopper are gonna become best friends, aren't they?
Yeah, you know they are.
They're both menaces.
Are. Oh my gosh.
They're both menaces.
You're totally right. It's gonna be exactly how it happens. They are gonna be just little turds together.
And then Chopper's gonna be his droid in the New Republic or in the New Jedi.
Oh, I like this.
And he's gonna be riding around in the N1 with his Mando gear.
With Chopper. All right,
I'm down. Here we
like
go.
A whole show on its own.
Here we go. We're getting
cool,
somewhere.
like cartoon.
No. All real Chopper.
I think it would be a cool cartoon though.
Cartoon? We have enough cartoons.
Okay. Anyway.
Guess Bad Batch season 8.
Oh gosh.
But only one more season of Bad Batch.
Season 2 has been so good.
It's over.
Yeah, is it?
I don't know how it ends.
I know one of the important things.
What was that?
I'm not gonna.
Oh,
I don't know.
Right.
You might not know.
To all our viewers,
and I don't know if all 3 people watching know.
It's 4. It says 4.
All right. Okay.
Listen.
One more season of Bad Batch.
One more season of Bad Batch. They all die. That's just how it is. Other than Omega.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
I think all the other ones die.
I think they're just
the rest.
But like we could make the same argument for the Rebels characters. Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
They were so important, and then they weren't around in any of the stuff that was technically made before they existed, right? But like, they could theoretically do the same thing with the Bad Batch, but it feels like they're just gonna kind of kill off the Bad Batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch. I thought you were gonna say Rebels characters for a second, which they very well might.
They really might, yeah.
I don't think Sabine dies.
We see. Let me try to think. Don't we see the ghost in that ending sequence? And
we do see the ghost in that ending
Rise
sequence.
Of Skywalker.
Positive. That's
so
positive.
We can probably assume that at least Hera makes it through.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Hera Syndulla. I saw her casting. I think they had announced it or like leaked it like months and months ago. It was a while ago.
Yeah.
Like I forgot about it.
I remembered after I saw it. Like, oh yeah, that's Obi-Wan's wife.
Yeah, and I saw the trailer for Ahsoka. Totally forgot it was her still. And then I saw her at Celebration or like on the pictures, and I was like, oh yeah, she's. I was like, who is she? It's like, oh yeah, she's Hera Syndulla.
Yep.
Perfect. Everybody is perfectly casted in this.
I've been really, really thrilled with the cast so far.
Sabine.
We haven't even said it. Lars Mikkelsen. Breaking news, guys. You're hearing it here first. It's beautiful. The only person that I would have accepted other than him.
Have you seen the picture?
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith.
Remember when we thought Matt Smith was going to be Thrawn in Rise of Skywalker?
Dude, Do you ever wonder if it's
Imagine
little
how
things
much
like
better
that
that
led
would've
to
been.
this? People are like,
Hmm.
oh, they want Thrawn.
Yeah.
We should give them Thrawn.
Oh, that would have been so good.
Have you? The internet's seen
Hmm.
it mostly, probably. Have you seen the image that was shown at Celebration? There was a clip shown at Celebration of him from the front.
Oh, I have not seen it.
There was. I'm gonna pull it up. You fill these people's time with something while I pull this up.
Oh, well, way to just put me on the spot there. Okay, well, let's
Here
keep
it is.
talking now. There we go. Perfect.
It's a little blurry. Oh, actually, here's a better one. Nope, that's not a better one. This is a better one. It's kind of blurry.
Okay.
So if you guys can see this, this is him as Thrawn. He looks good. I think the only thing they really need to do, and if they don't, I still be okay because obviously animation translates
Yeah.
different to live action.
Yep.
Is all they can do some makeup here, contour those cheeks a little
Yep.
bit. I have a sister. I know I've seen her watch those makeup videos. They just kind of contour cheeks or something. I don't know what you do with those,
I
but
think you should contour your cheeks.
I don't know if I'm insulted or
I don't know
I don't
either.
know what I am right now. I'm dead inside.
I'm excited for Thrawn. Man.
I'm excited for Thrawn.
I'm super pumped. I'm excited for the Ahsoka show in general. It's gonna.
Can we
be
talk about
so fun.
Balin and the other girl?
Let's talk about it. We probably should have.
It's not Ezra. There was a TikTok that was going around that I saw floating around.
That was going around. Get out of here.
That someone's like, it could be Ezra, idiot. And
I wonder who that
it
was.
was 8 a.m. Okay.
My favorite part is that like you were so excited about this theory. You tried to call me while I was at work. I was like,
on the 4th day of your new job,
the
fifth
fourth,
day.
like the fifth. I was like, no, I can't answer the phone and talk
I
about
didn't know what you were doing.
the Ahsoka trailer. I was at work.
I was almost at work. I didn't know if you wanted to call.
Almost
So,
at work. It's not the same thing.
I thought it might be Ezra. It's not. You had the theory that it might be like a Darth Vader, which I actually really love that theory.
Mhm.
An old Darth Vader that didn't lose to Obi-Wan.
Right, because they talked about, I think at some point, like going through and seeing different timelines essentially after like go in the world between worlds, kind of seeing like how things worked out. I was like, oh, what if this is old Anakin who didn't get turned into the robot Darth Vader, right? And so it's like, but now we know it's just a character from the
Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. They have orange lightsabers.
Mhm.
I don't know a lot about these characters.
It was confirmed that those really are supposed to be orange,
which is cool because from my understanding, he is a Jedi. He survived Order 66.
Yep.
And I don't know if she did her as well, if she was his apprentice.
Seems too young, assuming.
Right.
Human.
I don't exactly.
Right.
And they're basically just Thrawn loyalists. So they follow him. I don't know if that has anything to do with the blades being orange or anything like that. It looks cool though.
Yeah, it does.
I've been wanting orange lightsaber since I was like 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very specific memory I have of like you and I in a store. We were doing something, and I just remember like, I hear they're gonna do yellow lightsabers. And then the other ones. And at the time as a kid, you're like, that's a cool
thing.
thing.
It in that voice, it makes it sound like we're nerds.
You're right. We're not.
Definitely not.
Every color has its meaning. It does,
man.
So
Balin, his task is to find Ahsoka.
He's like an Inquisitor. Is he an Inquisitor?
He might be.
We saw an Inquisitor in there, right?
Mhm.
Unless that was her, the girl.
Yeah.
I don't think we know all the Inquisitors.
They
could very well be a few of
if
them.
they're separate from the Inquisitors or not.
I almost wonder if they're like some special elite.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It could just be
like
Thrawn's
this might have
got
just
his
been
buddies and
Thrawn has his little cohort secret group that he's been working with, like and using to do his stuff. And like, of course, Thrawn would understand
who finds who first,
the power of having Force users, right?
Mhm.
And so it's like I could see that being how kind of led him to get those people.
I'm blanking. Do they ever meet in Rebels, Ahsoka and Thrawn?
Yes, I'm pretty confident they do. Yeah.
So he would know who she is. Who finds out about who first? Does she find out because he sent people after her? Or did they interact because she was looking for him?
That's a good question.
Because I could see him sending them to go like, you okay? She's alive? That's not cool.
Right. Yeah.
Or I don't know. That's gonna be. There's so much about the show I don't know, and it's gonna be good.
Uh-huh.
Like there's so many possibilities.
But Thrawn would know who Ahsoka is as
Yes,
well.
I do think
like
so.
all of her backstory, and so understands like, hey, this one needs to be taken care of. She's too powerful and she's too impact. Like she can do and affect too many people and too many things. We need to get rid of her.
Christopher's watching. Shout out. We're private chatting on this, I guess. I love it. I love it. He says, "Hell yeah, love the enthusiasm. I'm here for it all day." He says the Wolf Darksiders. Okay, before I go any further with that, their names are from Norse mythology.
Okay.
One's a wolf that hunts the moon, and one that hunts the sun,
Oh, that's cool.
or something.
Okay.
Dave Filoni's real into wolves too. It's also a thing. Right?
That
But he
makes
says
sense.
the Wolf
It explains a
Darksiders
lot.
from Ahsoka trailer looked amazing. Heard a theory that they're gonna be like Joris Seaboth type character from the Air books. I need to read these books. I'm gonna order all 3. maybe and I don't want an audio. I want to read them.
Right. Okay.
I think I want to read them.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's not gonna be like it's gonna happen word for word or anything, but I think it's gonna enhance the show. I mean, I remember when Civil War was announced. And I was like, I need to read the Civil War comic, like series.
Yeah.
So I bought it, like they sold it as like a package,
Yeah.
like as one book. And I read it. And there was, I mean, obviously a lot of similarities, but a lot of stuff wasn't in there from the book. But I there was little things in the movie that because I read it, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's in there or something. And I just think it added so much to that movie. And I'm gonna read. And they say heir of the Empire. Thrawn is the heir of the Empire.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see something with Operation Cinder that was introduced, or that we really saw introduced in Battlefront 2, and where the Emperor basically gives very specific people very specific orders to keep the Empire going. And I think Thrawn is at the helm of that, or he's the guy.
I think he is the guy as well.
I think he is the guy.
I know he is the guy.
He has to be the guy.
He is. Like that. I know I read the first Thrawn Timothy Zahn book. And that was a lot of the basis is like Thrawn rising up the ranks and Emperor saying, "Okay, you're the guy, dude." Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Luke is the main like protagonist. Is that correct?
I believe,
kind of, or he's kind of he's in it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's
been a
Ahsoka.
while. Well, no. Hold on. This is before A New Hope.
The Heir to the Empire?
The Thrawn book.
I thought it was after Return of the Jedi.
The first one is not.
Oh, the other 2 are. Because I think Balin, I think Balin's character fights.
No, because Thrawn disappears before A New Hope.
But
and we haven't seen anything of him coming back yet.
Books though.
Oh well, I guess, and those aren't canon.
Not canon,
right?
But I think
the first book though is absolutely because, and the second one because Darth Vader's in it.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
The second one
I need to read them.
is the plot is like Thrawn and Darth Vader have to go and do something as like a team.
Which is funny because there's like that book.
And they don't like each other.
There's the newer book that has him and Anakin. Or I don't know. I need to read them. We need to bring Daniel on here.
Tyler doesn't know how to read.
I know. I don't.
So you gotta learn that first.
Don't even know what this says. What does this say? By the way, if you're watching, it's so funny. We have 5 people watching, yet there's only 1 thumbs up on this. I need you guys to like the video.
No kidding.
And if you don't like the video, throw it in our face by liking the video. I dare you. I double dog dare you.
Wow, look at you go.
Yep.
All right.
Double dog dare you.
All right. So we've been at this for a while now. How do we want to wrap up? What else do we need to talk about?
There's a lot of stuff. Tales of the Jedi
so
season 2 was announced. That was a fine piece of content.
It was
the whole thing, the whole series. It adds so much lore to these characters. I already love Dooku from the Jedi Lost book, and then I couldn't root against him.
Yeah,
in this in the Tales of the Jedi, but he killed Yaddle. Blah blah blah. A Sith's got a Sith, bro. Who
do we want them to do
Tales of the Jedi? I think I want them to. I don't know. Kanan. Kanan. I
Yeah.
think you have to do Kanan.
Kanan would be phenomenal.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna veer again. We veer a lot. My mind goes like this: Force Ghost Kanan in Ahsoka.
No. Will it
This
be?
theory was brought to you by Shane.
Will it be Freddie Prinze Jr.?
It has to be Freddie Prinze
Right.
Jr. You've already recast half of the. You have to.
he fits the profile enough.
I mean, yeah, I think he definitely does.
Wow. I'd lose it.
It would be amazing.
I'd cry a lot.
I guess
the reason we love Ezra so much of it is because of Kanan.
It's very true,
Mm-hmm.
and because they both grow together.
Yeah.
I
So,
know.
oh man.
Oh,
I hope we get it. What if
what if
the Force Ghost Kanan is how Ezra gets free of whatever hypothetical
I heard Kanan
capture
in Rise of the Skywalker.
He's in. Yeah, exactly. So we know he's capable
And we know it's Freddie Prinze Jr.
That's a good point.
Actually, right?
So he's capable of doing at least that much of like communicating through the Force and that kind of thing. So that would be sweet, dude. That'd be really cool.
So many possibilities.
It really is. That'd be awesome.
I love it. Visions Volume 2 is coming out. I only watched a few of the first one, but they were phenomenal.
I need to watch them. I think they're probably worth watching.
Anime has never been my thing, but the few I watched, I was blown away by.
My stuff I need to watch list is just really long.
That's the problem. Life is busy, and we get prevented from watching this stuff when we only get one thumbs up and one like on the video. We need more. So
we need more likes.
We need more likes.
So that we can
We
become
need subs,
full-time Star Wars watchers.
Yeah, and then there's half this discussion is out the window because we just have answers like that. But speaking of being experts on Star Wars, we can be around all the experts because in 2 years, Star Wars Celebration 2025.
2025.
Japan, dude. Japan. My pan. Not your pan. Japan.
Stop it. Just stop it.
No, I'm really excited for
Too
this.
much.
We thought it was going to be in the States. There was a lot of rumors. It might be Orlando,
Mhm.
even Anaheim again. Chicago got thrown out there again.
Okay. That'd have been nice.
That'd been beautiful. Chicago was
Chicago's really close to us.
Yeah, it was like the most attended ever because it's so centralized. But it's going to Japan. When I first saw it, my gut instinct was like, "Oh, Japan, so far away." But I thought, hey, that's 2 years away. Japan, how cool is that? Like,
it's a cool place.
That would be a really cool
to
place.
host it. I think it'd be a cool venue.
Tokyo Disney's right there.
Mhm.
Likely will be next to Tokyo Disney.
Yep.
That's cool. That's something I would love to visit. But Japan, 2025, April. It's like 3 days in April.
Yep.
We're hoping to be there.
Hopefully.
I met so many awesome people at the last one.
Mhm.
I was bummed I couldn't go this year. You need to experience it, dude. You need to go.
I really do.
You would love it.
And I want to.
I think you. So, Steven is actually going to his first convention here in a few weeks.
Mhm.
He's going to. It's going to be exciting. He's going to Indiana Comic Convention. Can't say Comic Con anymore.
Well, you just did.
Oh yeah, I did. So Indiana Comic Convention.
Mhm.
We're going to be there Saturday and Sunday, walking around, talking to people, meeting people. If you're in Indiana, or if you're going to the convention, come by, say hi, chat with us a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell us what
Do
we're
it.
wrong about. I love it.
Probably a lot of stuff.
It's probably more than we'd like to admit.
Mhm.
But come see us. So he's going to experience that convention for the first time, and I would love for you to experience that, and then go to a Star Wars convention. It's nothing like it.
Yeah.
You're gonna
I
have
believe
fun
it.
at this one. Be like, this is cool. Star Wars Celebration,
Yeah.
totally different ballgame.
That gives me 2 years to save up the
save
money for all this junk I'll buy.
100%. I might just buy a one-way ticket.
I'll have to figure
Get an apartment there so I can put all the stuff I buy. It seems more financially logical than coming back.
It's smart.
I will just
Oh,
become
gosh.
Star Wars Celebration. I will go wherever they go.
Maybe, hopefully, the next one we'll get press passes for that as well.
Call me. You know who you are. You know who you are in Lucasfilm. I don't know who they are. I hope they know who they are. But this has been fun.
been a blast.
It's been fun. Thank you for everybody who's
We did the
watched, who's
thing.
joined. We did a thing. This is a work in progress. As you can see, we're in this awesome green room.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's the color it shows on the screen, but it's greenish.
It's
It's not like an olive green.
Yeah.
It's like a light olive green. Sat in the
Sure.
sun for a little while.
Uh-huh.
And it's like a pop box that sat in the sun for a while is what it is.
I don't
But
know my colors that well, so sure. Green.
you all know what I'm talking about. Who knows who has
It's
a pop?
green.
Philip, you have pop box that sat in the sun. He knows what I'm talking about. It looks like this. But regardless, that's not important. I'm just rambling at this point.
I don't know what we're talking about. Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe to the video. We're gonna try to do this every Monday
Mm-hmm.
around 8:30. Tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your dogs, tell your cats, tell them all. Tell all the cool cats and kids, cool cats and kittens. That's what Carol Baskin used to say. So tell all of them. What a time in American history. We'll touch on that in some other episode. What a wild time.
Let's
But
get out of here.
you guys for watching. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
May the force be with you. Thanks for joining.
May the force be with you. Now we got to get down here and turn this off.
That's awkward. Huh.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
think about that.
No, we didn't. But thank you guys for watching.
See you guys.
See ya.